What is going down, squad? We see you guys in the chat already. Shout out the Sourdough Squad. Oh boy, we have a lot to talk about today. What a fun week this has been. I don't know if it's been the same level of fun for you that it has been for me, but it's been fantastic. It has been absolutely fantastic. We got Hat Twins in the chat. Let's go, Residency Gang. Get up in here, say what's up. Greet your fellow Sourdough Squad members. We see all the boys in here. Let's go, DJ Sean. We see you, Brad Gang. We see the Brad Gang, man. What a week it's been. It's Thursday, but it feels like it's been 2 weeks almost of just back and forth between Rams fans, Rams social media, Rams sponsors, Rams wives. Like, it has been insanity. Yes, and I've been taking full advantage of it. 100%. I'm having so much fun. Like, I haven't had so I've been running, the SF Niners on Instagram since 2018. And we've kind of spread out from there across multiple channels, but this is one of the most fun weeks that I've ever had. Just all the posts, everything. Oh, we got a new sub. Shout out new Sourdough Squad member. We see you guys. Absolutely get those likes in, and why not? Let's keep it nice and reasonable today. I'm going to say 350. We're going to set the like goal for today at 350. Let's see what we can do. And if we hit it, then we will readjust. We're going to set it at 350 though for right now. Like bars set at 350. So man, it's been so much fun. I've been having a blast. I'm sure you guys have too. We have a lot of slander from media. We have players sticking up for their quarterback. We have crazy players' wives from the Rams withholding tickets from 49ers fans just so they can give them away for free. I mean, there's so much stuff. There's so much stuff going on, and we're gonna get into all of it. Let's jump into this and have some fun because, like I said, I'm having a blast. It's been a fun week. But before we get into the fun stuff, let's talk about some of the news to come out from today. Kyle Shanahan spoke to the media, so we'll take a couple minutes to talk about some important updates regarding the players. Starting out with Trent Williams, obviously he is dealing with a bit of an ankle issue, but he did not practice today. So that's 2 practices in a row that Trent Williams has missed. Typically, we've seen players miss practice Wednesday, Thursday, and then at the very minimum put in a limited participant on Friday, and then we've seen them play before. So that's what we're going to be holding out for. I think we understand with Trent Williams, it's going to be a game time decision no matter what. It is going to be a game time decision all the way up until kickoff. This man is not going to miss this game if he has a choice. So similar to kind of what they talked about in week 18, that was the same thing they did. Trent Williams didn't practice Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, came out in pregame, tried to test it. And when they realized pregame it just wasn't going to work out, they turned to Colton McKivitz. Colton McKivitz came in and played left tackle against the Rams in week 18, and the 49ers came out with the win. So there is a little bit of comfortability knowing that at least we have a decent backup plan against this team that we've actually executed very recently. And that gives me a little bit of calmness in the situation. Again, Colton McKivitz, we studied the tape, we hopped into it, and Colton McKivitz had a really good game. You can tell that Colton isn't a natural left tackle. He's not a natural tackle at all. He's an interior guy. He's a guard. I mean, I believe he played tackle a little bit at West Virginia, but he's been primarily used as a guard kind of utility piece across the offensive line, kind of like a 2019 version of Daniel Brunskill. It's kind of what Colton turned into week 18 against the Rams, and he did really well. He even got a really nice pancake on Aaron Donald in that game. He played pretty well. So clearly, Colton McKivitz isn't the best left tackle in the NFL. That title would go to this man, Trent Williams. And we want Trent Williams to play, especially when they're bringing out Von Miller. They got Leonard Floyd, Aaron Donald. They shift them all over the place. You want your best offensive lineman on the field, and especially not just offensive lineman, but he's arguably the team leader. I'm not sure if you guys had an opportunity to take a look at the 49ers mic'd up of Trent Williams. If you did, you saw it was like 6 straight minutes of Trent Williams being the ultimate team leader. So his impact not only to the production on the field, but the leadership. And I think leadership is going to be a big topic for this particular episode because we are going to transition that into the Jimmy Garoppolo topic pretty soon. But I think just like we talk about Trent Williams and we see from Trent Williams being a leader, um, literally, this dude went up to almost every single player before the game started and gave them their own individual hype up speech. And when it comes from guys like this, again, it's all alphas, it's all, some of the best athletes in the world. But when you have a guy like Trent Williams who cares that much and believes in you, that can really elevate your game. Again, we talk about the mental, psychological aspect of football on this channel all the time. And when you have guys like that on your roster, it can really help. It can really help bring everyone up and level up everyone. And it just feels like that's the case. It really feels like that's the case. So again, monitoring tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be the biggest day for Trent Williams. We are going to find out whether or not he is available to practice. If he is practicing in a limited fashion, then that is a good sign. Good sign from today. Elijah Mitchell did not practice yesterday. However, he was back at practice today. He is participating in a limited fashion, which is, again, good news. We need Elijah. We need Elijah. Jeff Wilson, I think, is a little dinged up right now, and we haven't heard a ton about Jeff Wilson, I think just because of his involvement in the offense. The last couple weeks of the season in the playoffs has just really been non-existent up until this point. So there's not a lot of, talking going on about it, but it does appear that Jeff is a little nicked up. So we need as many healthy bodies that we can get, especially in the run game. So need this man. Need this man. DJ's doing his service to the chat, saying smash those like buttons. Over 100 people in here, over only 60 likes. I'm sure we're going to get it up. We'll see. I believe in the Sourdough Squad. Again, you guys are undefeated. I set you to a high bar today, too. 350 today. So far, Sourdough Squad's undefeated. You guys' challenge. You guys are going to be put to the test today. So we're going to see if we can hit that 350. Let's move on to the next. So Elijah Mitchell's trending in the right direction. Probably the best news of the day. Amari Thomas, the kid, is back. Let's go. So last week, Amari Thomas was dealing with a bone bruise to his knee. We saw clips of him in practice, and it was apparent as daylight that Amari Thomas was not okay last week. He was hobbling around, was not even at 50% speed, it looked like, moving through some of the drills. You could see he wasn't lifting his knee, and was favoring one pretty heavily. This week, We saw, I believe it was Matt Barrows who put out a video of them. It's nothing crazy. They're inherently already working at about 75% speed, but you could see the difference. He was moving much better. There was no gimp, there was no hitch in his step. So that's a great sign for Amari Thomas. He was a full participant today and looks to be back and will be in the starting lineup for the San Francisco 49ers. As we know, Amari Thomas had a pivotal interception to seal the win for the 49ers to get into the playoffs against the Rams on that last play of the game. So he's quickly become a fan favorite. I'll pull the chat. Let's pull the chat. Has Amari Thomas got his first legitimate playing time week 14 against the Bengals? There's 5 games in which he played in the regular season, and now up until this point, would you say Amari Thomas is a fan favorite? Because it kind of feels like that. And the maturation of Amari Thomas this year has been one of my favorite things, especially being a guy at training camp. Hell, especially being a guy at the Senior Bowl. I saw Amari Thomas live in person at the Senior Bowl. Um, and, I wouldn't say he had a great Senior Bowl. And then you go into training camp. I was at training camp. He didn't have a great training camp. Was clearly a step behind on a lot of plays in training camp. Just didn't seem to be there with it. And we saw some of that when he got his first start against the Bengals. But the best part of and why I love player development so much is because the bar is constantly moving. You're never staying the same. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. And Amari Thomas is a perfect case study of getting better. Since that Bengals game, he has completely revolutionized his game. I think Kyle Shanahan this week said Amari Thomas was probably one of the biggest surprises for him this year. And that's pretty crazy. And I would say that kind of matched the vibe in training camp. Like it just didn't feel like, and kind of throughout the year, just they didn't trust Ambry. I don't think Kyle trusted Ambry. I don't, I think, it's pretty crystal clear that Ambry Thomas was a Adams Peters pick, not a Kyle Shanahan pick. And so guess what? Sometimes, when you get a guy that's selected for you and hey, you didn't pick him, so maybe you don't like him too much. um, I don't know if Kyle really vibed with Ambry right away, especially with a lot of the rookie mistakes that we saw in training camp. But Ambry Thomas has absolutely come on as of late and been a pivotal contributor to the San Francisco 49ers and their success down the stretch. We saw how dicey it can get, Dante Johnson, Josh Norman, when no K1's there, when no Emmanuel Mosley there, it gets a little crazy, gets a little scary. But Ambry Thomas, when he's been in, Emmanuel Mosley and KK, it really does feel like there's a sense of calm, a sense of like we have competent DBs. And of course, we can't say enough about Jimmy Ward and Kwaski. Those two safeties this year, literally that. They have been our safety valves at times. So we have to give those guys a ton of credit. The defensive backs, and that's what we talked about in training camp. If you guys were with me on my lives during training camp, that's what we talked about. We talked about, hell, I went on 95.7 the game with Joe Shasky and Bonte on the morning roast, and they asked me what my biggest concern was from training camp, and I said DB depth. I said the DB depth is very concerning. And we're only in training camp. And that was when Jason Verrett was healthy. And so it's obviously been something that has been true. It's been something that they've been trying to work around. D'Amico Ryans has done a fantastic job at working around some of those limitations. That's why D'Amico Ryans is potentially headed for a head coaching job, is because of his ability to work scheme, work personnel groupings versus matchups. Like, I'm terrified. I'm terrified that D'Amico Ryans is going to get a head coaching job this year. It feels like he could get that Vikings job. Heck, Mike McDaniel is heading for his second interview with the Miami Dolphins. I don't want to lose those guys. The fan base, for whatever reason, again, I understand ignorance is bliss sometimes, and just not knowing what someone does just automatically in some people's minds mean they don't do anything just because they don't understand what they do. So D'Amico and Mike McDaniel haven't necessarily been fan favorites up until this point. Only when they started getting love from other people outside the fan base, which is ironic. Let's see. I'm just seeing this from Akash, who works for Niners Nation. He says, per StubHub, 43% of ticket sales for the NFC Championship game is coming from Northern California, nearly double the Week 18 game. My goodness, guys, we are going to take over that damn stadium. I can't wait. I can't wait. And we're going to get into that here in a second, but I did want to talk administrative stuff, want to talk about the movement that's happening around the team. Oh, yesterday. Oh, let's go. We hit 103. All right. We're almost a third of the way. Almost a third of the way. So let's see. All kinds of stuff going on. All kinds of squirrels floating around. It's been wild, though. It's been wild. 49er fans are going to show up heavy at SoFi. It's going to be unbelievable. Like the SoFi South thing, that's real. That's real. That's 100% real. Here's some more stuff. This is from Sam Farmar from the LA Times. He said StubHub says that 49ers Rams is on track to be the number one best-selling playoff game in site's history. The site is 22 years old, from my understanding. StubHub has been around for about 22 years, I believe. And they are seeing their numbers go through the roof. Why is StubHub going through the roof? Is because Ticketmaster decided to get in bed with the LA Rams. And as a result, they decided, hey, we're going to block Northern California residents from coming to this game because we think we're clever and we think we're smart. And we're going to outsmart these 49er fans that just think they're, the best thing since sliced bread. We're just going to keep them out. Bruh, that's the dumbest thing that they've ever done. It is going to turn out to be like a talking point when it's going to be like exactly 100%. Like they should teach this in marketing. Like if you're going to get a marketing degree, this should be like, if I was a teacher, again, you guys know I'm big on marketing. If I was a teacher, this would be a case study that I would show of how trying to be proactive to stop like a force from coming can actually do the exact opposite, and how you could actually create an immense firestorm, and how you can create insanely negative PR as a result. And not only is it PR, but it is proof is in the pudding. The proof is in the pudding. StubHub is going through the roof. We posted the link on Instagram the second this happened. The second we found out about this and we found out that StubHub wasn't blocking, we posted the link in our bio. We told everyone, go to StubHub. Do not buy from Ticketmaster. Buy from StubHub right now. And StubHub's numbers are going through the roof. So not only have they got met with a PR firestorm, but we're actually putting the proof is in the damn pudding. All right. The proof is in the damn pudding. The numbers don't lie. And the numbers are in favor of the San Francisco 49ers and StubHub. Ticketmaster is taking one of the biggest L's that we have seen in recent memory, at least when it comes to being like a corporate like entity being taken down by a fan base. Like that doesn't happen too often. That really doesn't. And that's why I keep talking about it. It's because the pressure that this fan base has applied onto Rams fans, Rams family members, Rams sponsors, Rams executives, they're terrified. They're 100% terrified. Ryan says, saw that Vivid Seats said 65% of their ticket sales are from 49er fans. I'd bet that 45 to 50K of the 70K fans are 49er fans on Sunday. 100%. That's what all the early metrics are coming out. That's what all the ticket brokers are saying. The ticket brokers are saying there's already more tickets being sold to this game than week 18 to 49er fans. It is going to be insane. Machiavelli says, did you hear Robbie Gould mention Levi South? 100%. I actually, I tweeted out my Levi South meme. So when I was live tweeting the press conference, I did his quote and then I posted this picture with it because I just love this picture. I feel like it is just iconic. It feels so accurate. It feels wonderful. I'm having the time of my life, guys. The Rams at this point are literally like making the content for me. I am not doing anything. I'm having a blast. I'm just sitting back. You guys know what I do. I scour the internet for content, things that I think are relevant for 49er fans. We repost, we recreate, we do all that kind of stuff. And at this point, the Rams are literally feeding me content on a silver spoon. I've never seen anything like this before. It's absolutely insane. Jason says, Brad, we need a link and the promo code. Folks want the hat. You want the residency hat? I got you, Jason. I appreciate the nice little reminder. You want to be a part of the residency gang. You see these hats on every single player. Kittle wore this this exact hat to practice yesterday. I think Dwelly wore this hat to practice yesterday. You can get them at residency.com. Use promo code the SF Niners on the whole thing. And I actually got I got one locked and loaded. I got a residency hat locked and loaded. So we're gonna do a little unboxing. I clearly haven't seen it yet. I still think I'm the first person with the hat. I don't think anyone has actually received it yet. They just dropped it earlier this week. I've actually just haven't been able to get around to it, but we will be doing a little live unboxing as well. So we'll be doing all that good stuff. And since we're on the little, I do want to give a shout out. I do want to give a shout out to the squad. Let me make sure that we can get this thing all in full force. I do have to give a shout out to the squad. I mean, this isn't an ad or nothing. This is just me showing my gratitude. Gold Bar Whiskey, bro. These guys, the official whiskey of the San Francisco 49ers. Bro, they got your boy ready to go. They got me over here talking on the phone like, "What's good?" Dude, these guys like I'm gonna keep it honest with you guys. I don't even drink, but the sheer beautifulness of these bottles. If you have a man cave, even like I said, I'm sure all of you drink, but if you don't and you have a man cave, these freaking bottles are next level. It's literally gold bricks. Like shout out Gold Bar. They sent me one of the dopest care packages. We even got the mini bricks, bro. We even got the minis. It's sick, man. I just want to shout them out. They got they got your boy looking right. We vibing. Let's go. Just want to do that real quick. Now we're back to football. Now we're back to football. Just want to shout out the homies. Just wanted to shout out the homies. We appreciate them. So, all right. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to it. Let's get back to Levi South. Let's get back to Rams slander. Let's get back to Rams tears. Oh my gosh, dude. Rams fans, they're so terrified of us. They're so scared. They're so scared, man. Absolutely terrified. Obviously, we know what happened in 24 hours. Ticketmaster had to reverse the restrictions because of the public pressure that 49ers fans put onto them, and it was fantastic. But as we've seen today, it's still trending in the direction. I forget who sent me this meme. I think it was Dawson on Twitter. I think he posted it. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I thought it was hilarious. And I think it's very emblematic of the situation that we're in. Ticketmaster trying to help LA Rams fan. I got you, brother. And then 49er fans come in and say, oh, no, you don't. This is so emblematic. Oh, let's go. This is another great one from this week. So I've spoken to a little birdie, and this little birdie runs the invasion for the San Francisco 49ers. So when they go city to city, he's the guy that puts them on. You guys might know him, Nick Savage, insanely good at what he does for the San Francisco 49ers. If you haven't heard it already, I think Michael Irvin created a chant without knowing it, and I had to ask Nick because the invasion this weekend is probably going to be the biggest one that I won't be surprised if it's the biggest invasion that we've ever seen. So I talked to my guy. He said, I said, we're going to need a practice run. We're going to need a practice run of the chant during the invasion so we can get everyone on the same page before the game. And I think he's somewhere over here in the comments. He said, I think I know a guy. So keep a lookout, man. This might be coming. Oh, Debo. Oh, guys, it's coming. Imagine all of Levi South doing this. Debo. Oh, Debo. Oh my gosh, guys. Like, could you imagine? Could you imagine being in Levi's Stadium? You're a player, maybe like you're a defender. Debo just trucks you through your face and plants you on your back. You're in your home stadium, and the entire stadium just starts going, Debo. Oh. Oh my gosh. I hope it happens, man. I hope it happens. We're going to have so many faithful there that it can happen. It can happen. And could you imagine just it echoing through the halls? Debo. Oh. Everyone like stomping their feet at the same time. Debo. Oh, dude. Like, just put yourself in that position. It might be the most legendary thing we'd ever seen. Like, in their stadium. Not in our stadium. In their stadium. Not our stadium. Well, it's kind of our stadium, but their stadium. Like, and it's got, you can do, and it's Debo, and you can do the like the low tone. You can stomp your feet. Like imagine. Oh my gosh, I'm so hyped about it. I'm so hyped about it. Oh goodness. I love it. I think this is my boy. I think this is a boy who I think Dawson was the one who got me I think he was the one who I could be wrong. But this meme, I think you posted this on Twitter, dude. I'm pretty sure it's you. This is fire, man. Absolute fire. Heat. Loved it. I think this was from the boy right here. I'm not positive, but I think. Um Andrew says that chant would cripple whoever the again, this is a we're taking full advantage of psychological warfare. That's what we're doing right now. Like, I always talk about like this being a human game and psychology and sports psychology and the human element being such a huge part of the game that a lot of fans just really don't think about. They think about the production, they think about the yards, they think about the touchdowns and the interceptions, but they don't think of it from the sense of like, hey, if I was in this situation surrounded by 60,000 people screaming at me, like, and I have to go and execute with the weight of the like there's a lot of psychology at play, and we are absolutely dominating it from a fan base perspective. From a fans base perspective, we are dominating this team, and it's Thursday. It's beautiful. I've never seen anything like it before, and it makes me very happy, makes me very proud. He said, "Go get some Pringles, bro. You deserve it." I'm gonna go get some Pringles, maybe a McDouble or something. Appreciate that, man. But I'm just saying, like, and again, this is kind of like a perfect example. Some more of the ticket kind of stadium takeover thing that we got going. Per Pro Football Talk, ticket resale trends suggest more 49ers fans than Rams fan will attend the NFC Championship game. Then we also had this. This we found out about this on the stream yesterday with Jason Aponte. I believe it was Lisa in the chat. I believe it was Lisa in the chat. She actually pointed us onto this on the stream live. And what this is Matthew Stafford's wife. She went on to Instagram yesterday and said, "I love how she also references Ticketmaster specifically." So many L's, man. So many L's in 1 week. It's unbelievable. She goes on to say, just went on Ticketmaster and saw how expensive tickets are getting. Shucks. Sorry. This is too funny. She says, I'm going to buy a good amount and give them away. If you are a hardcore Rams fan or just a regular Rams fan, we accept regular Rams fans around here. What is a regular Rams fan? What does that mean? A veteran, active in the military, a public servant. Email me at staffgivesback@gmail.com. Tell me your story with some photos attached. I'll get back to y'all by tomorrow. I mean, okay. Like, let's just say that none of this drama about the tickets, about fans taking over the stadium, just completely making a mess out of their home field. Let's say none of that existed. Then, under those circumstances and context, this is probably not a big deal. It's probably not a big deal. Let's go. 200 likes. Okay. Maybe we are going to hit our 350 goal. Maybe. Maybe. We'll find out. But under the normal circumstances, I think this would be perfectly fine, right? A player's wife wanting to do a giveaway, expensive tickets, which they are, and public servant, veteran. Okay, that's cool. We can respect that in a vacuum, but it's not in a vacuum. It's not in a vacuum. That's not the context. It's not. The context is this. The context is what she said after week 18 against the 49ers.
Never seen so many of the opposing team's fans at a game. And We came from Detroit, and there are a lot of good traveling teams there, but that was wild. Like Matthew was on a silent count, and for those of you who don't know what that is, like he can't call. It's like when he hikes the ball, it's either a loud count where you can hear him, and that's what usually quarterbacks are on when they're at home, or a silent count. Matthew was on a silent count. Jimmy Garoppolo was not. Who's the opposing quarterback? It was crazy. I mean, I've never seen anything like that, but it made it very hard for us because I guess we weren't expecting to be on silent count. I'm not.
Oh, it made it very hard for you guys to be on a silent count. Oh, and then you're doing this giveaway. It made it very hard for you guys to be on a silent count. That was after week 18. Pro tip, if you guys ever make it to the NFL, you need to sit down and have a meeting with your family about what they are allowed to put out on social media, podcasts, tweets, Instagram posts. Lock it down. And I put out something on Instagram about this earlier. I have so much more respect for our players' wives. Like I think Claire Kittle's kind of like one of the supreme, like, most tenured 49ers wives, and she kind of holds it down for everyone, and she sets a really good example for everyone. I'm so much more respectful and thankful for them. Like that they're not out here giving sound bites. Again, in the context of this reality, this looks ridiculous. Like this giveaway, like it looks so stupid. Right after she got done, just saying how immensely difficult it was for her hubby to go out there at home and play amongst a sea of red. Context matters, people. Context matters. And like I said, in a vacuum by itself, what this is, it's not a big deal. But when you tie it to everything that has been going on since week 18, this is a joke, an absolute joke. They are withholding a block of tickets away from 49er fans to give to regular Rams fans because Rams fans aren't about that action. Rams fans aren't about that life. They're not. They're terrified. The ones that are going are terrified. The other ones, they don't really care. Because they don't. Because they've been fans for 3 years, 2 years. I mean, these guys are pulling out all the stops, and just from a pure PR standpoint, awful. Like awful. Like they need to get this figured out because they're just making it so much harder for themselves. You have the Los Angeles Times already coming up with excuses for why the Rams house will be filled with red. The Red Sea coming up here pretty darn soon. They say the NFL's decision to stay out of LA for more than 2 decades is the main reason why 49er fans will likely, no, they will outnumber Rams fans at SoFi Stadium. Imagine being a Rams fan in this chat and just sitting back and listening to this and still puffing their chests out. Imagine. I feel so bad for you guys. I really do. Oh my goodness gracious. Then let's get let's get a little soundbite from Jim. Let's get a little soundbite from Jim and what Jim had to say about all this good stuff.
Behind you like that on a road game, and we knew it. I mean, before the game even started, there was a lot of You could see it. But once we started making plays and they started getting loud, it just changes the momentum of the game, I think. And you can feel it on the sidelines. You know, it's not something that you could really put your finger on and you can't see specifically, but you could feel it, you could hear it. And that's our team responds well to that. So hopefully the faithful will be out there loud and proud. And I know they're trying. When you could get your fans behind you like that on a road game, and we knew it. I mean, before the game even started, there was a lot of red. You could see it. But
they feed off it. They 100% feed off 49er faithful's energy. 100%. 100%. They talked about it. They talked about that game week 18 when the 49ers were down. Was it 17-0? 17-0, was it? I believe. But when the 49ers started making plays, and then you give them an opportunity to get up and get loud, then you can see like the 49er faithful, I try so hard to tell you guys how much you impact this team. I really do. Like, I've been doing it for years. I'm trying, like, the comments you make, the things that you guys do on social. I know a lot of you don't think it has an impact, but it really does. It really does. And a perfect example is trying to, like, this when you show up in person. We're doing it online this week. We're doing it digitally. We're doing it digitally this week, but when you show up on Sunday and you take over their stadium from a psychological standpoint, they are going to be fighting not only the 49ers, but they're going to be fighting the doubt that 49ers fans have put into their mind all week. Like, this is nuts, dude. Like, this is war. These are war times. These are war times. I've never seen anything like it. Never been a part of anything like it, and I'm having a freaking blast because they're giving us content at this point. Heisman says, "Bro, check your DMs on Instagram. I've been trying to hype to hype Debo up. It's hilarious. I'll try, dude. My DMs, I could show you my DMs. It's a disaster. I'm not trying to cap. Like, I probably get, like, it feels like I get over. It has to be at least 200 to 300 DMs a day on Instagram. Like, I'm not lying. Like, people responding to my stories, people sending me individual, like, messages, people reposting stuff and sending it to me. I probably get 200 to 300 DMs a day on Instagram, and it's absolutely impossible for me to go through it. So I will attempt to find this DM, but it's rough in my DMs. I cannot keep up. My ADHD just simply will not allow it. It's overwhelming how many people DM. I love it. I love the energy. I love it all. I love that people are so. I try to get to them. I try to look, and I do get to them sometimes. I definitely do. But it is hard. Like, and I'm not the best. I'm not the best at it. Oh, we're at 280. We set the goal at 350. We have 635 people in the chat right now. Light goal is 350. Sourdough Squad is undefeated. Will we get it? I don't know, DJ. We'll find out. Heisman says, "You're the president of the faithful." Nah, I ain't the president. I appreciate that. This is a community, man. This is a community. We all ride for the same squad, and the whole goal is, again, stealing from my Warriors, strength in numbers. You can see, man. You can see what happens when we stick together. When this fan base sticks together, holy crap, dude. It's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. But I appreciate you all. The cheapest current ticket for Sunday's NFC Championship game between the Rams and 49ers at SoFi Stadium is over $600. We talked about this earlier in the week. One ticket broker just told me it's going to be a sea of red again. Rams fans are growing, but they aren't paying $600 for nosebleed tickets. Not happening. Well, guess what? Us 49er fans, we're just a bunch of degenerates that love this team, and we hate this team, and we love this team, and we hate this team, and we love this team at the same time. That's who 49ers fans are. We can tear each other down day by day while while simultaneously loving this team. Like, it's the most crazy like ecosystem of personalities and PTSD and trauma and fandom just mixed together. And when we're fighting each other, we can get vicious, right? When we fight each other, we're taking people down. I've seen it. There's been so like I'll pop onto my personal Twitter and someone will be recapping a war that they just had. Like almost every time. But when you take these people and you point them at someone else, you see how powerful we are. You see how powerful we are, man. When we decide like, hey, we don't have to fight with each other about a quarterback. Let's just let the rest of the world fight about our quarterback. Let's just ride with our team. And we ride with our team. Woo! Oh baby. We to the moon. We to the moon. V says Niners faithful to the Bay and LA. Let's go. We run Cali, boys. We run Cali. Like it is what it is. There's no denying it. The San Francisco 49ers run California. Sorry, no Raiders here anymore. Sorry, Raiders. We're the Bay's team. Bro, you ain't in the Bay. Get the hell out of here. Kick rocks. Enjoy Vegas. It was fun while it lasted. Let's go. Look at the homie. Everyone show love to Rob Gotti. Dude said spent $9K on tickets and didn't even blink. It's going to be an experience of a lifetime. And again, if there's anyone on the fence about going, I went to the NFC Championship game in 2019, and it was the greatest experience of my life. I paid an arm and a leg to get in, but it was worth it. And it's a memory that I still cherish very closely to this day. And if you're on the fence about how much money it is, but if it is within the means of you affording it, it's just something like that's just a lot of money. I will say that experience was fantastic. It was fantastic. So if you can do it, more power to you. If you are going into the game, check in the chat. We'll shout you out. If you're going to the game, check in the chat. Say, I'm going. We'll pull you up and we'll give you a shout out because we're behind you. We are behind you. This energy from 49er fans, we might not be there, but if you guys are there, we are supporting you. We have your back. We are hyping you up. We are like now fans of you. That's how this is working. Like that's how this is working. If you are going to this game, I got your back. We, the Sourdough Squad, we got your back. If you are going to this damn game to ball out for our team, we got your back 100%. So just think about it like that. It's a lot of money. We get it. It is. But money comes and goes, man. Money comes and goes, and life is about experience. Life is about experiencing things. Like I said, I had stress for days about how much money I spent to take my, I believe he was 7-year-old. He just turned 7 as his birthday present. To take him to the NFC Championship game in 2019. I spent a lot of money. it was worth every freaking penny. I even talked about it, I think, earlier this week. I would have spent, like, knowing the experience that I had and the memories that we made and the core memories that were made, I would have paid double for that experience. So I'm just saying, if you're on the fence, just know this is going to be legendary. Like, that it's like when they look back in the history books, when they look back, like if the 49ers can pull it out, I mean, we're so focused on taking over the stadium, but if they can pull this out, the fan base is going to be a key storyline of this run. And that's one of the coolest things is that if they can advance to the Super Bowl and do damage in the Super Bowl, the fan narrative is going to be cemented in this team's run, and you would be a part of that. Just saying. Just saying. Oh, and then, of course, let's end it. We're almost there. Let's hear from Sean.
Matthew said that it was a really tough environment to communicate in really the whole second half. I'm curious how much that kind of caught you guys off guard, or if it did catch you off guard.
Yeah, I think it did catch us off guard. I think just because of the way that it's been this year. I mean, you've been at all those games, Lindsay. I mean, it's been great atmospheres, great environments. Yesterday was the same thing, but there was a lot of red there, and that was that was definitely it was a surprise. I think is a fair way to put it.
Yesterday, Matt.
Oh yeah, the head coach was surprised. He was real surprised because you know why? Let's go. Where's the volume? Did it kill my volume? Son of a gun. Anyways, what George says right here in this beautiful clip in his American flag overalls is, "We're here, baby." That's what George says right here. "We're here, baby." And 100%. Shout out, George. He commented on it too. He said last slide, greater than. And what did I say? I said playoff Greg. Greater than. Shout out playoff Greg. Playoff Greg is a legend. He's a saint. 11 likes away from 350. Let's go. We're close, man. 11 likes away from 350. We're close. We are close. Smash that like button. Did I miss super chats? Also, remember, remind me if I pass up on a super chat to I missed 2. Somehow I keep missing Cash. Cash, how do I keep missing you, man? Super Bowl bound. The gold. Let's go. I think I missed another one. Yes, I did. Ryan says, "Stay humble, faithful. 0-6, yes, but let's not be that announcer that says he never misses a free throw, then the guy misses." I mean, to be honest, there's some psychology to that, and it feels like a bit of that psychology of what the Rams did. Like when you're scared and you're fearful, and then you start operating through that sense. Then you somehow, it's a bit of the manifesting. It's a bit of, law of attraction type stuff. If we move through this week, like, oh, hopefully we don't jinx it, and that's how we're talking about things, then we're probably going to jinx it. That's how it works. No, that's not what is going on here. All we are talking about is literal factual information of the 49ers faithful taking over a stadium. We just watched Matthew Staffords' wife talk about it. We just saw Jimmy Garoppolo talk about it. And we just saw Sean McVay talk about it. That's all we are talking about. People are having a very difficult time confusing this with being cocky. That's not what's going on here. This is literal domination. Get the weakness out your mind. Worrying about jinx. What are we worrying about? How do you jinx taking over a stadium? It's an actual fact. We are doing it. Come on now. Did we hit our like goal? I'm over here hyped up right now. I'm over here hyped up. DJ, catch me up to speed. I'm so far past what we were doing. Where are we at, man? Rams see the 49ers probably similar to how the Niners see Seattle. 100%. 100%. That is, here. 383. We hit it. Sourdough Squad's undefeated. Sourdough Squad is undefeated. We hit our 350 like goal. Sheesh. Love to see it. Love to see it. Ooh, great transition. Great transition, Cash, with the body bag Greg comments. So we got more bulletin board material from Rams coaches today. These guys can't get out of their own way. The chat is moving way too fast. The chat is moving at a mile a minute, and I love it. The energy is electric in this chat. The energy is electric in this chat. Body bag Greg coming into the mix. Good old body bag Greg. This is from Rams team reporter Raheem Morris, Rams defensive coordinator, says George Kittle talked about the body bag last game and said, quote, he put us in one and now it's time to pay him back. Bruh. Don't say that. Like, why would you say that? With 49er fans like literally foaming at the mouth for any piece of content for the Rams to put out, why would you say something like this? Like, why? We've already alerted the 49ers. I have already sent this to them. I have already said, when you make your bulletin board deck, make sure you add this. And they're like, yep, we have. Like, why? Why would you say this? Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. But I'm here for it. I'm absolutely here for it. 501 Club, Kenny says, we can't lose in that stadium. Levi South, baby. There's so much at play here, guys, because not only that, if the San Francisco 49ers win, if they win, like, it's going to be like a home game, because then they go and play the Super Bowl there at SoFi, hashtag Levi South. There's a lot on the line. There's a lot on the line, man. Dustin the Gale says, I wonder if we can make Stafford miss another snap. That's the goal. That's the goal. Like literally the goal is, if you are going to that game, anytime the Rams have the football, you're screaming. That's just the vibe. Like, it doesn't even have to be because the defense made like a fantastic play. It's no. We understand, because why? Because Mrs. Stafford gave us the piece of intel that is actually coming back to bite her in the rear, and that they had struggled because of the noise. Well, guess what? What does that mean? What does that tell us? That tell us that we have an impact, and that tell us that us making noise works. So guess what? Anytime Matthew Stafford is on offense out there in the huddle, it should be just screaming at the top of your lungs for 60 minutes. 60 minutes. That's all you need. And typically, offenses are on the field for anywhere from 30 minutes, 25, 35 minutes. So screaming for about 35 minutes, I think you guys can do that. I think you can. Heisman says, fun fact, the Rams could have kept us out the offs, and they're terrified by that. They are staying awake at night thinking about how they did this to themselves. There's so much psychological warfare going on here, guys. Like just how everything is stacking up. The Rams had an opportunity to not be in this situation. They had an opportunity to not play the 49ers and take care of business. But guess what? They fumbled the bag. They fumbled the bag. A reporter for LA, a reporter in LA, what did they ask Sean McVay? They asked Sean McVay. Let me get this out the way. Hey, Sean, is Kyle Shanahan in your head? Oh my goodness gracious. Apparently the Rams have their own Grant Cohn. Shout out that reporter. Shout out that reporter for asking this question, because again, like it's a setup for failure. It's one of those questions where there's like no real right answer, because it's almost a projection at that point. It's like the reporter projecting what they feel. Like, hey, it appears that Kyle Shanahan's in your head. You've never beaten him. You're 0-6 against him. Is he in your head? Like, what are you supposed to say? Yeah, it bothers me that I can't get over the hump against Kyle Shanahan, one of my mentors, someone I learned a lot from. Really hard to get over that. No, you can't say that. All you can say is literally what he said. No, but that's still bulletin board worthy. So shout out the reporter that said that, because then I put out this horrible Photoshop. 3 weeks later, this is what happened. We're absolutely in their head. We're absolutely in their head. 100%. Shout out Lisa. This was the Lisa who put us on to the Stafford giveaway live yesterday. That's been fun, Lisa. Thank you for letting us know about that. Hilarious. She says hilarious because that body bag comment from Kittle originally was actually a compliment to both teams. He was complimenting them. I agree. It's funny because I actually listened to so Kittle has a podcast that he does with his sister Emma and their dad. And they'll bring on 49ers players, and they bring on a lot of servicemen and women, and they talk about a lot of different things, but they're very psychologically in tune. Like a lot of the stuff that I talk about, they are like 3 steps ahead, like with how it pertains to football and actually playing football. And Tom Compton came on as one of their guests and talked about just I think he might have been the one to kind of plant the seed with the body bag thing, but exactly right. Like Kittle was just talking about it in the sense it was going to be a hard game. Like it was going to be a game where there's going to be casualties on both sides, but they took it literal in the sense that the 49ers are going to come in and put them in a body bag, and they were chirping Kittle in the game when they were down 17-0. What about that body bag game, Kittle? What about that body bag game? Blah, 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 blah. Well, doesn't look like that worked out too well for them. Does not look like it worked out too well for them. So and like I said, man, that bulletin board stuff, that's real. That is real. The Rams have it and the 49ers have it. Trust me. I talk with the guy who puts it together and I give him stuff. So it's real. They use this stuff and they use it to get them going in the right direction. Trust me. So what the Rams have done this week, from like the way they're managing their PR and everything, it's feeding into the 49ers narrative perfectly. So, hey, we're going to figure it out, man. We're going to see what happens. We are going to see what happens. Excited. I'm very excited about this, man. I'm very excited about this. Oh, we need another promo. I appreciate you guys. Hell, why don't, instead of just the promo, why don't we just do this real quick? We'll do the quick little unboxing. Do a quick little unboxing. New drop from Residency. So we'll do a quick little unboxing, and then we'll get back into what we have left on the docket for the day. It's been a fun episode, though. You guys are killing it in the chat. Chat's on fire today, man. Oh, yeah. 420 likes. Let's go. Let's go. For the culture. We smoking that. Hey, we've been smoking that Ticketmaster pack all damn week. And it is still hitting smooth. It is hitting smooth. A little buttery. Shout out. We got 420 likes, though. Let's go. Let's go. All right, we're going to do it. Let's see what's in this thing. Let's see what we got. Please don't cut myself on a live stream. That would be very bad. And I don't recommend opening boxes like this at all with sharp blades. But got to do what you got to do. All right, let's see what we got. Let's see what we got in here. Oh, there's two. I was actually expecting one. There's two. Ooh. Let's go. Of course. Shout out the squad. If you do want to get real crafty with it, you could take a picture of this QR code. Put it up there for about 2 seconds. Let's go. Focus. If you want to hit the link, you could literally just take a picture of the QR code. It will send you to their website. Always send in nice little residency stickers with it. But they got us two. I was only expecting one. Ooh. 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 Ooh, this one's dope. So this one's a snapback. So if you know anything about these hats, they're mostly Velcro. And look at what we got. That looks like a giveaway to me. That looks like a giveaway. So I got to figure out how to do these giveaways. But we're going to be giving away. I got a couple hats that I need to give away. This is going to be one of them. But this is the new release. This is the new drop. This is the one that no one has yet. Again, the big difference with this one is it's a snapback because a lot of these are all these ones. They come with the Velcro strap, as you can see. But this one's nice. And it's like the material's different. You can tell the material's different. Actually feels a little bit more high quality, which is crazy because these hats are already super, super good quality. So again, you want to get your new drop. That new drop. Ooh, this thing's dope. You go to residency.com, use the promo code, the SF9ers, grab your hat. Bro, I'm drowning in residency hats, man. I got nothing but resident. Let's go, squad. So, like I said, I got to figure out how to do some giveaways because I don't need two red hats. I love these hats, but I got one already. So we're going to figure out how to do some giveaways. So stay tuned for that, especially for the Sourdough Squad, the loyal Sourdough Squad. We need to get you guys some hats. Like I said, I mean, the quality of these things, they're fire, like absolutely fire. Get your hat. This one is called the Presidio. Specifically, if you want to get this one again, snapback makes it real dope. This one is called the Presidio. Go to residency.com, promo code ESF9ers, get you a discount and some expedited shipping on all that good stuff. And there's our unboxing. We did it. Hopefully I did okay for you guys. That's my first live unboxing, so hopefully it was okay. Hopefully it was all right. Hopefully it wasn't too cringe, but I got you. Those hats are dope. Like legit. I didn't know I was going to get two either. Did not know that. Rob Gotti says, money can't replace the experience my son will have with me and the rest of the faithful. Oh, I love that. We're coming for the win and not looking back. I love that you're taking your son, man. I love that. I do. That makes me happy. That makes me very happy because I know from experience that by taking your son, you're going to give him an experience that's linked to you as Big Papa that he'll never forget. And that is what it's about, man. That is what it's about. Creating memories with your kids, especially when we can vibe in an environment like that. We see you, Rob. Go have a great time with your family, with your son, dude. Can I be your son? Oh, we need more unboxings. So one of the first videos that I made that I actually produced and like shot and edited was my Trent Williams jersey unboxing. Once the season slows down, that's definitely going to be some of the content. Once the season slows down, you're going to start to see it switch of more original content. Obviously, we're sharing lots of content right now, but once things start to slow down a little bit and we can spend more time creating, more unboxings, all kinds of stuff is going to be coming our way. I'm excited, but I'm not ready for the off season just yet. Just yet. So let's go. 448 likes. Let's go, squad. We see you guys. We see you. All right. What else? I know there's more. Oh, we haven't even talked about this yet. 450. Let's go. Sourdough Squad is absolutely undefeated. If you haven't yet, hit that like. Debo that like. I think, as Niner by Nature says, Debo that like. And DJ, I got you, man. Once the season slows down, I'm in prime time, straight up full throttle content mode at this moment. So that's what I'm thinking about. I'm pushing a lot of stuff off to the off season, but once it slows down, we'll have plenty to talk about. I wanted to spend some time on this. Since this is kind of dominated as of late. Yes. This. Perfect timing. Mina Kimes united the 49ers fan base. Kind of. Maybe. Because I think there's a lot of people still arguing about this. But obviously, as it's been alluded to, this comment here from Mina has set quite the firestorm. And I'm not going to pretend like I haven't heard this before. You know, I think it's a pretty common theme amongst, people who don't like Jimmy Garoppolo very much. And what Mina says is Jimmy Garoppolo is the definition of being part of a group project that gets an A while doing none of the work. And I think we talked about this on yesterday with Jason on State of the Franchise. But I think this is just a really bad take in a lot of ways, like, because this isn't true. I think whether you like Jimmy Garoppolo or not, it really doesn't matter. If you don't think Jimmy Garoppolo in some form or fashion is contributing to the success of the San Francisco 49ers, then you just simply aren't paying attention. You aren't reading the tea leaves. You aren't truly you don't truly have a pulse of this team. You don't understand what they've been saying since January. You don't get it because it doesn't fit your narrative. And that's okay. We understand that a lot of Twitter is about fitting your narrative. And if something doesn't fit your narrative, then you combat the narrative. But the fact of the matter is that Jimmy Garoppolo is a key component to the San Francisco 49ers success this year. Is he a key component to them starting 3-5 as well? Yes, but it all ties together. It all ties together. This team went through some hardships early of the year. The QB drama, the dissension of the fan base. Dude, people turned on Kittle because he liked a post on social media that wasn't even bashing Trey, but it got turned into that because Jimmy is a Kittle guy, or Kittle is a Jimmy guy and always has been. But there's a lot of drama, man, that went on with this team, the quarterback situation, and conversations amongst the fan base, and just, just wildness on those Twitter streets. But for Mina on her platform, and I personally respect Mina. I think Mina's great. I think, as a woman in a male dominated industry talking about football, I respect what she does and what she brings to the table. I think she normally gives pretty great analysis. I think she's able to find really strong nuggets that relate to kind of advanced analytics. She's really good at being able to formulate opinions. And unfortunately for Mina, she missed hard on this one. And again, the biggest thing is the way she said while doing none of the work. And that isn't a good analogy. How can you look at a leader on this team who's constantly talked about as a leader by every player, offense, defense, special teams, coaching staff, and say otherwise? Then that's just you at a certain point just deciding not to listen. And I will be honest, I did that. I did that this offseason. I saw them draft Trey Lance. I saw the logistics that went into it, trading all the draft capital. I saw the press conferences when Kyle Shanahan said he was trying to find a starting quarterback, and he said starting quarterback 7 times before drafting Trey Lance. I saw the information about Kyle calling on Aaron Rodgers, Deshaun Watson. I've seen all that. So for me, I started to believe that there was a legitimate quarterback competition in training camp. And I thought there was. I was at training camp. I saw Trey slinging it. I saw the ceiling that Trey had. And I was like, yeah, there's no way there's not a quarterback competition. But the reality is what it is. There wasn't. There wasn't. There was no quarterback competition. Ever. I personally made up in my head. They would tell me there's no quarterback competition. I'm at practice. I'm like, oh, they're competing. They're lying. They're just trying to hide the competition. Because in my mind, as a guy who played the sport, everything is competition. So, but I never played in the NFL. And the NFL, it's not about just football. It's about, there's a lot of politics, roster politics, money, how much money you're getting paid. There's a lot of politics than just actual, what do you do on the field in between the white lines? It exists. And so I had to shift off my thought process and be like, you know what? They're being truthful when they say this is Jimmy's team. He's quarterback 1. This is the guy. They tell us over and over and over again. You know, at one point, you guys know the vibes. Anytime they said anything before the trade deadline, I was like this. Anytime the 49ers said anything about Jimmy before the trade deadline, I was just like, oh, they're trying to pump value. They're trying to position themselves. They're trying to do this. They're trying to do that. No, I was wrong. I was wrong. And I realized that. I actually went back and looked today. On November 1st, I tweeted that same exact thing. I was like, man, I was completely wrong. I thought there was a quarterback competition. There's not. There never was. And the last thing I said on that tweet was, this team plays for Jimmy. I said that on November 1st. I've posted that twice in the last 2 days that the 49ers play for Jim. So I figured that out mid-season. It took me a while. To kind of get out of my own way because my team has never traded an abundance of draft picks to go get a quarterback and then keep the one that was already on the team. I've never experienced that. So it was a bit of a learning experience for me. But I'm not going to just dig my heels into the ground because that's what I said and that's what I believe. I'm open to more information. You give me more information, I'm going to evolve and change my opinion, good or bad, just based on the information you give me. Deebo Samuel comes out today and says, crazy how y'all have so much to say about our quarterback. Check his win percentage. Okay, I'll wait. Pure winner. Jimmy Garoppolo. Obviously, we understand the QB wins crowd can't stand when people reference how much Jimmy wins. And I mean, I get it. I don't necessarily I think football's a team sport, and there's a lot of reasons why you win. It's not just because the quarterback, and it's not just in spite of the quarterback either. We just understand what's at stake. He's the guy that touches the ball every play. He's the guy where everyone has their eyes on him and watch what he does. So that's how it works. But clearly, this team's got this man's back. Like, they got his back. You had this from Kyle yesterday as well. I believe David Lombardi tweeted, this was a quote from Jimmy Garoppolo. Excuse me. As long as the guys in the locker room have faith in me and believe in me, that's all I really care about. And then you had Kyle Juszczyk quote tweet this and say, "We love you, Jim." Like, at a certain point, us as fans have to understand that our evaluations of Jimmy Garoppolo on the field may be correct. Like, he does have a hard time being accurate on deep throws. He'll run into instances where he kind of loses his processing in the moment. Looks like he kind of, has a hard time processing through his reads or identifying proper reads. Sometimes he will throw straight to underneath linebackers. Sometimes he'll miss layups. Like, that can be true. But what also can be true is that he's the ultimate leader. That can be true as well. Like, he can have deficiencies on the field and might not be a Patrick Mahomes or a Josh Allen, one of these guys that has the crazy live arm and mobility and awareness on the field that, like, we want to see from an elite quarterback. But that doesn't mean he's not a good leader. That doesn't mean he doesn't know how to get these guys prepared and ready for battle. And I think, what we know is that they continue to just have his back. They just continue to have his back. Talk about how he continues to be the perfect leader for them. Nick Bosa said that. Nick Bosa said that Jimmy Garoppolo is the perfect leader for this team. And if you've been in a locker room and you've played football, you know what that means. You don't need it to be explained to you. You don't need to like what are they talking about? Why do they keep saying this? It doesn't match the field. It doesn't match the production. That's because leadership is an intangible. It is an intangible aspect. And a lot, if not most fans don't look at football through the intangible lens. So therefore, they don't see the full picture. And that's okay. But hey, I do. And I understand. Took me a while, but I understand. I get it. It makes sense. Yes, has he sometimes put us in bad spots? Yes, but it's also at the same time his mentality and his energy is part the reason why they're able to come back in these games. It's a crazy dynamic. I'm not going to lie. Like, the stressful nature of it, the back and forth nature of it does get, stressful for us who are no control and are just watching from afar. Like, yeah, that gets stressful. But I think within that locker room and everything inside, like they are 100% behind this guy. They are. And that's what it is, man. That's what it is. So just like these players have their back, like if you're in 2022 and you're wasting personal energy on arguments about Jimmy Garoppolo, I'm praying for you. I'm praying for you. I'm praying for your mental health. I'm praying for your sanity. And I hope you figure it out because you'll just realize you are wasting so much energy for something that ultimately does not matter to you. People are taking stray bullets on either side just because of this man. Just don't do it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Let's see. Jason says, hold on one sec. Jason says, do you think Sanu will play special teams mostly, or do you think he'll have some looks on offense if we have Debo in the backfield and lining up 3 wide receivers? So that is going to be interesting to see who does dress. We've seen that it has been Travis Benjamin, who's kind of been that last wide receiver. Also, River Craycraft has dressed as well. But the reason why those guys are dressing is because of their impact on special teams. So I think Sanu and the path for him to get on the field is that he has to supplant one of these special teamers. I actually don't think Craycraft is going to get supplanted, to be honest. Because he's been a really good gunner. He's pretty active on special teams right now. So for Craycraft, I'd actually kind of see him, maintaining his position. I think it's Travis Benjamin that it's between. If Sanu can edge out Benjamin, then it's going to be interesting to see what role he has. But at the same time, it does kind of feel like that role has slid to Juwan Jennings, and Juwan Jennings has done a pretty damn good job at it. So I don't know. I think it's a plus, though. They talk about his leadership. When we just got done talking about Jimmy Garoppolo and his leadership, well, Sanu has been one of those guys. So maybe there's a little extra juice, too. When you get Sanu, you get him back in Jersey, you get one of your OGs out there ready to go for an NFC championship game. Who knows how much Sanu has left in the tank. That could be another rallying point for this team. We'll find out. But like I said, I think it's kind of between Sanu and what's his name? Travis Benjamin. I feel like Craycraft for everything, like he's doing all teams. He's a key teamer now. And him and Sherfield. So it's gonna be up to, I think, Sanu and Travis Benjamin, but we'll find out. Could be the other way around. But that's what my gut feels like. Jesse says, what do you think of the Niners reserving a future spot for Keyshawn Johnson? I freaking love it, dude. I love it. I absolutely love it. Where are we at? Okay, I see you. We're at 481. We can get 19 likes. We could get Debo likes before this is over. Let's get 19 likes. Debo that like button. Let's get to 500. Let's get him. So he got signed to a reserve future contract. So I don't think it has. I don't know a ton about the actual rules to that, but I don't believe it pertains to this particular year. So it's not like we're signing Keyshawn and he's like, oh, we can play him. I think it's to a literal reserve future contract for heading into OTAs with a 90-man roster. So, but I do love it. I'm not going to lie. I think it's low key, like kind of a dope signing, especially his understanding of the Cardinals. He's drafted by the Cardinals, I believe, out of Fresno State. He put up a decent amount, not a ton, but decent amount of production. Did we hit it? Dang, you guys are built different. We hit 500. Let's go. I set the goal at 350 today. Per usual. You guys just blow through it. Sourdough Squad, man. You know the vibes. Freaking undefeated. Let's go. Brad Gang. We see you. Debo and Jimmy, that like button. Exactly. 100%. SDS in the building. Let's go. Also, shout out my chat. And shout out the ones, you know who I'm talking about. You guys are helping me stay on track. I need to figure out how to do the mod thing, but damn near, I already have a pretty good idea of the people that I would like to be moderators for my channel. And a bunch of you guys are in here. So just keep an eye out. Again, something I got to figure out and kind of figure out how to do. I've actually never done it. But I do want to get some guys to be moderators for this channel because I think they already do it. And let's make it official. Let's make this bond official. If you guys are down for it. So would absolutely love to see that. Because we need it at this point. We need it. Niner Cali Boy says, what up, Brad? Do you think there's any chance we see Mostert in the Super Bowl? Unfortunately, no. He has passed the window for return. It would have been interesting. It would have been you just right click the name, add as a mod. Really? That doesn't work. That didn't work. So we'll figure it. I'll figure it out. but I got a couple people in here. You guys probably already know who you are too. We'll get you modded up because you guys ride with the boy, been riding with the boy for some time. So I got you. I got to figure it out though. The biggest thing with Mostert is he's not going to be returning. He's not going to be returning this year. If he would have gotten surgery, or I think it was if he didn't get surgery, he could have potentially played. But the problem was, if he didn't get surgery, there's a high potential for re-injury, which then could affect. He is a free agent going into this year, so it could be a situation where, he was thinking long term. He could have come back. That was the original reports. But he opted for season-ending surgery. Plus, he's past that point of returning from IR. So he's kind of down and out at this point. Let's see. Shout out Justin, putting out the good energy into the universe. Just want to chip in for Brad's Victory Donuts on Monday. We're getting them again. 100%. 100%. Emmanuel says, Debo, go Niners. Go Niners. What else is on the docket? I'm pretty much freestyling at this point. If you guys do have a couple questions, if you want to get them in here, we're past an hour and a half. So probably going to be wrapping up here in the next couple minutes. We hit our like goal. We blew past our like goal. Squad's undefeated, man. Squad is undefeated. So what's today? Today's Thursday. More lives coming Friday. Obviously. Yeah, we'll see what's going on. Ooh, good question. Good question. This is a tough one. That's a tough one. It's either between old fashioned. I love old fashions. Old fashions are fire. Chocolate, maple, or glazed, doesn't matter. I love the texture of old fashions. Or good old like chocolate bar. Your boy gets down. Boy gets down on some donuts. Jay Tran says, listen to Morning Roast podcast, SF radio show, 100%. Shout out Bonte. Shout out Shasky. They actually had me on the Morning Roast in training camp. It was a career moment to be on 95.7 because I've been listening to 95.7 the game since the first day that they started their radio station, which I think was like 10 years ago now. I listened to 95.7 for a long time. I listened to when Bonte was on with Greg Papa. I used to listen to Bonte and Greg Papa all the time. Shasky was a freaking legend. Like, I don't even know if some of you guys understand. Like, when the 49ers were losing and were terrible and just a dumpster fire, the only saving grace of my week was Joe Shasky calling into Damon Bruce's show and just going nuclear. But the beauty of Butch going nuclear was he was so upset and yelling at the top of his lungs, but he was slinging nothing but facts, and in a way that just like makes perfect sense. He's not taking shots. He's saying it like it is, but he's so pissed off and passionate. It was the best. It was literally the best. I could listen to like again, I would drive home, I'd be driving home, listening to Damon, and just wait. Just wait for Shasky to call in, and made my day, especially when the 49ers sucked. So love those guys. Definitely shout them out. Shout them out big time. Yeah, and if you do, they do stream every day on YouTube. Obviously, they have a radio show, but you can stream them on YouTube in the mornings. I throw them on the cup sometimes. But yeah, those guys are good. Fat boy says we will win the game. You can print it in 3-inch bold letters. We will win the game. Jimmy Johnson. Ooh, is that a quote? I don't know. I don't think I've ever heard that quote before. That's a bold ass quote. That's confidence right there. That is confidence. I like that. I like that. All right. I think we're getting to that point. Unless you guys have any last second questions. I think we might get to. I think we're at that point. Almost an hour 45. You guys are killing it, man. You guys are killing it. Yeah, let's call it. Jason's saying, how do you feel about secondary watching them lock down Adams, Lazard, Lamb, Cooper the last 2 weeks? I would say Adams and Cooper got away on a couple plays. They had some good plays throughout, but Lazard was someone that I was concerned about. CeeDee Lamb, someone I was concerned about. What's happening? I see wows. Wow. What happened? What did I miss? The chat is going too fast for me. How do we feel about our secondary after watching them lock them down the last 2 weeks? I wouldn't say, they were totally locked down. Especially some of the things that Rodgers and Adams did. But we highlighted the Kwaski. We highlighted the Kwaski Tart play yesterday when we were talking with Jason, where Kwaski runs like 400 yards to make a game-saving tackle. Not only was it a game-saving tackle, but it transitioned into a game-saving play where Jimmy Ward blocks the kick. If they get that kick and they score points there, that last second field goal win or kick by Robbie Gould doesn't exist because it needs to be a touchdown at that point. As we know, the 49ers had a real hard time scoring touchdowns on offense. What did I do? Brad answered DJ's question. Oh, I gotcha. Yes, I think so. 100%. I think so. I think that the LA Rams are pumping sound into their stadium to prepare. I think that's happening. I was actually thinking about this earlier this week. If somehow, could you imagine if the Rams were practicing in their stadium and a reporter captured a video of them practicing in their stadium, pumping in crowd noise on offense to prepare for a game in their own stadium, if someone gives us that piece of visual, audio, whatever, that's another thing where we're going to go crazy. If we see them practicing it, again, we talk about being rent-free. We talk about being rent-free. Sheesh. Unbelievable. Shout out JR. Just sending the boy $5. Appreciate you, my boy. Appreciate you, my boy. Someone said play the locksmith. Why not? I'll play the homie. We'll end it with the vibe. We'll end it with locksmith vibes. And that's what we'll do for today. Today was a pretty fire episode. I don't know. Felt fire to me. Felt like the energy was high today. Felt like we had good showing in the chat. Felt like, oh yeah, look at that. Today was a good day. Let's go. Let's go. We messed around and got a triple-double today. I'll ask you guys this question. I'll ask this chat, and you let me know. So I've been thinking about doing the film breakdown. You know, obviously the offense wasn't really there's not a ton to break down on the offensive side, tons to break down on the defensive side, 49ers versus Packers. But I want to ask you guys this. Would you rather see a breakdown of 49ers versus Packers or a re-breakdown of 49ers versus Rams week 18? Either one, we'll come back tomorrow with the film breakdown. But what do you guys want to see? I know it's past that point where we're on to the Rams. So what would you rather see? Would you rather see breakdown of the Packers game or breakdown of week 18 to see how everything went down and see how we build off that going into this game? So far, I am seeing breakdown the Rams, Niners, Rams, week 18 for sure. 49ers versus Rams. Okay, I get the vibes. I'm glad I asked. Let's go. I'm glad I asked. Oh, it's overwhelming. I'm glad I asked. Imagine if I show up tomorrow, film breakdown, and I'm like, hey, we're going to look at the Packers. Everyone's like, we don't care about the Packers. All right. So keep that. So what time tomorrow? I'm going to try to do 2 lives tomorrow. And if we do a film breakdown, I'm going to try to get it in maybe like the early window, maybe 11:30. We'll find out. We're definitely doing a live around 1:30. That's always pretty consistent. 1:30 to 2 is kind of our window for sure live. Second one, the film breakdown, it's either going to be before that or after that. But like I always say, smash that bell button. That way that you don't miss it. So when we schedule it, you'll be able to get notified. So it looks like we're going to be doing Rams breakdown tomorrow. I'm down with that because that was a good game. And there's a lot of plays to take away from that. So I'm absolutely down for that. We'll do Rams tomorrow. Try to do a couple lives as well. Money Mark says, who's a good dark horse player for us this weekend on both sides of the ball? Ooh, I like this question. Can't wait for Sunday. Dark horse. I love dark horses. Like, because I love Cinderella. Like, I love the feel good story. I think, I don't think Eric is a dark horse anymore. I'd be silly. I honestly don't talk a ton about. No, that's a lie. I talk about the defense. Oh, goodness. Where's the mods when you need them? I think I got him. Dark horse. Like I said, I don't think Eric's a dark horse anymore.
He checks it immediately. That's what he's thinking.
I don't
Maybe
think he's a
can
dark
get
horse
in the end zone
anymore.
to Adams, and then
Also, RIP Eric Armstead haters. Pour one out for them. Pour one out for them. They're going through it. Also, Fire Shanahan crowd. Put a shoulder around them. Say it's going to be okay. So we know you're emotional and we know you're very quick to, jump to conclusions, but it's okay. We got this. Dark horse. So when I look at dark horse on the offensive side, I don't know if he's necessarily considered a dark horse, but it does feel like potentially like Brandon Ayuk could go off again. Obviously Deebo Samuel's due to ball out. I feel like Brandon Ayuk has been building a lot of strong momentum. The Packers game, it wiped out the entire offense. There's nothing we could do based on the weather and how everything was working out. Bad drops, bad throws, bad decisions. Not even that, just like there was just a lot of stuff at play. So the offense wasn't really working that well. But I'm going to say Ayuk, man. I feel like Ayuk could have a day. And he's not a real dark horse, but I love the way he played against Dallas. I love the way he played against the Rams week 18. And I feel like he's hitting his stride at the right time. So I'm looking for Brandon Ayuk to ball out. And I think let's go here because let's be honest, he really doesn't get the love that he deserves. Jason Aponte, Jordan Elliott, Vish Kumaran. I hope I'm not destroying his name. Those guys have really been championing Kowalski for quite some time on Twitter. And I just wanted to shout them out because they're 100% right. They're 100% right. I think this fan base, when we see injury, sometimes it can be easy to write someone off because they're not on the field. But all Kowalski has done this year is prove how important he is to this team on the back end with Jimmy Ward. And so I'm going to go Kowalski. I'm going to go redemption for Kowalski. I want Kowalski to get a pick. I want like a pick 6 from Kowalski. Like, could you imagine? Like, Kowalski's been going through some things, whether injury related or whatever. I think it would be fantastic if Kowalski just came out, got an interception, got maybe a, fumble recovery, big stop. He's been quietly one of our better players for sure. So I'd love to see Kowalski ball out, man. Really would. So that's what we're going for. I like that. Good question. Great question, Money. Money's a vibe. We appreciate you, Money. Yeah, and he really puts his money where his mouth. The dude drops fire super chats. Shout out, Money. Mark, we see you. Shout out, Money Mark. Legend. Chat legend. We see you. So yeah, I like that plan. Very, very I think it's appropriate that we collaborated on content for tomorrow. So we will be coming back to do a film breakdown, but we will be breaking down Rams week 18 performance. Ooh, yeah. So we're going to take a look at that. And so that's what we'll be doing tomorrow. Like I said, I'm going to try to have 2 lives tomorrow. So best case scenario, Smash that bell button so when we do schedule, you get to see. I like to try to schedule at least about an hour, hour and a half out. So give you some time. And you already know if you do miss it, you can always come back and watch it. But yes, DJ, today was a good day. Sourdough Squad, ballin'. Future mods in the chat, ballin'. We see you guys working. So, yeah, that's what we're gonna do. It's championship week, man. It's NFC championship week. No days off. The grind continues. Shout out all you guys as always for supporting your boy and hyping me up. I appreciate you guys. It's a fun week, man. Enjoy this. We talked about this earlier this week. Just enjoy this. Enjoy this time. We don't know what's going to happen next week. We don't know if the 49ers are going to win. We hope and we believe they're going to win, but we just don't know. So just enjoy these moments. Enjoy the build-up. Enjoy the hype. Enjoy everyone rallying together. It's a special time. And the Sourdough Squad is at the forefront. Don't let anyone tell you differently. Appreciate all you guys. And we'll be back tomorrow to talk more 49ers football. Let's go.